Hi there.
What's going on, man?
Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. I wish I can take your pain away. I said that you are having pain, but just whatever way I can help.
It's all good, man. Hey, life is life, my boy.
Mm-hmm. It wouldn't. Usually, I say it wouldn't be work if it was easy, but this isn't about work. So
hard work.
I've been working. Till the sun goes down.
I don't know that one.
I
was waiting to chime in, but I was like, I don't know. I didn't know where to jump in. I was like,
The New Color Purple. I was gonna go, high pitched.
I haven't watched it yet.
It's been so long.
Yeah, no, I haven't watched it yet. Well, there's a lot of. I still haven't watched Joker Folly or Do.
Okay, you can let that one go.
I still want to watch it though.
Yeah, I know. I understand.
But I'm saying that's the point. My point is, there's a lot of movies that came out that I just haven't watched yet. Mm-hmm. That I wanted to watch, just haven't got around to them.
Mickey 17 is out.
Yeah, I know. Mm-hmm. So I'm slowly I just watched Alien.
Romulus.
Yeah, around Christmas time, but I know that one's out for a while. So slowly but surely.
Did you like it, Romulus?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You didn't like it?
No, it was good. I enjoyed it.
Okay, you gave me the look like, I'm glad you liked it. that's what your look said. Like, I'm glad somebody enjoyed it.
No, it was good. It was just that one scene when they were floating around in the acid. It just, man. I mean, I know they're in space, so I can understand it.
Oh, it was shooting the gun to move because the gravity kept turning on and off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's I know we're trying to get into it, but just a quick aside. Because maybe it's because I used to work at the Space and Rocket Center, so we talked about space a lot. But when I watch space movies, I just be like, but they don't have gravity in space.
Which is true. Which is why ships are supposedly they have artificial gravity, and it's displayed.
But that's what I'm saying. They don't have artificial gravity in real life space. So
that's what's called science fiction.
I know that's what I'm saying. That's my whole point. Is like. When I watch the movies, I still enjoy them, but there's a small piece of me is just like, but this ain't real.
Yeah, and I was gonna say that they have different ways of, sometimes you can just flip a switch and it automatically comes on, and then you can have the ones where you have the centripetal or centripetal. I think it's centripetal. Like the space station is always rotating, and to me, if you would have to be rotating quite a bit for that to develop your gravity.
Hey man, I'm not a scientist.
And then, even then, like I can see where there will be problems there. But again, that's why I guess it's science fiction, and you can't think about these things.
Oh yeah,
just accept it.
I mean, but I also put that in the category of because I know we've had conversations multiple times. Mm-hmm. How you feel about like CGI? Mm-hmm. Like I put that in the same box of like in the back of my mind, I think that like I know there's no artificial gravity in real life. But it doesn't keep me from enjoying it. I'm like, I don't care. Yeah. It's just when I sit down and I think about it, I'm like, well, that can't happen. Just like The Rock kicking a torpedo. That can't happen.
I saw a post and people are, I don't want to say slowly coming around to Brave New World, but they were saying how Sam was on the missile and he pushed it down. He was like, that can't happen. And I started to say, if Vin Diesel, and I'm sure people aren't really saying the movie is groundbreaking, but if y'all can let him get away with that.
If he could drive a car off a cliff, catch a rope with a chain with the front of the car, swing it around, fall back down on 4 tires and keep going 80 miles per hour, Black Captain America, as they call him, could ride a missile into the ocean.
Yeah. Cap. Yes, Cap. Thank you, Cap.
Hey,
good job, Cap. But I liked the movie. I liked it.
Have you seen it again since we watched it?
I did. And even though, I still enjoyed the movie a lot. That first 30, 45 minutes was a little tough to get through just because it was very exposition heavy.
Yeah.
But I mean, I understood that and I recognized it the first time I watched it. So I was just telling myself, just get past this and then the rest of the movie is fine. And I can't even tell you at what point it was. I should have been thinking about that consciously to say, all right, this is the I was going to say prime meridian. That's not the word. This is the point. Yeah. It gets better.
That's how I feel about I feel like I've said this before. That's how I feel about. Is it Infinity War? Yeah, I think it's Infinity War. Because it's not Endgame. It's the first one.
Okay. Because Endgame is the one I thought was like boring the first hour.
It's one of those where it's like the first part of it is like, okay. It might be Endgame. I don't know. It's one of those two. It's been a minute because it's been a minute since I've watched them, so I don't know. Only thing I know that separates them is in the first one they disappear, and in the second one is the heist. But I don't know like the other storylines that happen around it. They kind of they mesh.
I almost know the beginning of Infinity War like by heart just because I've seen it so much. But it starts off with Thanos and ship with
fighting Hulk.
Mm-hmm. Dread it.
Yeah,
run from it.
It's Endgame.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Endgame starts off with Hawkeye family disappearing, and then they go to like the therapy sessions, and then
they cut off Thanos' head, and then it gets all right. Let's just deal with the aftermath.
Yeah, and then Captain America walks in on Black Widow, and she offers him a sandwich.
Yeah,
that's a scene from the movie.
Yeah, just trying to ground them,
Yeah.
Hey, our superhero days are over, because everybody's dealing with all this.
Yep.
Yeah.
They also recast
Red
Hawkeye's daughter.
Oh yeah.
She's just older. Mm-hmm. Was it Hawkeye or Ant-Man's daughter? Well, they both get recasted, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's Ant-Man's daughter that got recasted in that one.
Yeah, I was gonna say Kate Bishop. So yeah, it was Ant-Man because I don't think Hawkeye's. I'm sure.
Because she was still kind of younger at that point. Because she got older in the show.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not his daughter, but because Kate Bishop came around in the show.
Yeah.
And his daughter wasn't really that old. Ant-Man was he had a little girl, and then in Endgame she was older.
Yeah, and then she became. And Quantumania, she's
a whole different person.
Yeah.
Yeah. She got recasted a couple times.
I forgot Hawkeye even had a show.
Dang, man.
I did.
That quick?
Like once you said, she was older in the show, I was like, oh, right. I had to think about what the show was about. The only thing I remember about the show, obviously, is Kate Bishop, and then them fighting in the ice skating place. Mm-hmm. That's all I remember.
You don't remember...
I think the swordsman, there's a swordsman.
What? No. What's her name? Pugh?
Florence Pugh.
Florence Pugh.
She was trying to assassinate, maybe kill.
She was trying to kill Hawkeye because she found out that he had a hand in her sister dying because they was on the cliff.
Yeah.
She gave it, but she didn't know the details around it. All she knew was he was the last person to see alive.
Was she trying to assassinate Bucky at some point? Maybe. Okay.
No.
Did Hawkeye even tell her, like, hey, she jumped off the cliff?
Yeah, that was at like the end of the season. Like he basically, because she showed up on the ice to kill him, and then she basically was like, you killed my sister, and then he was like, oh no, she sacrificed herself, and had this whole long talk, and she was like, I forgive you.
I think I just wanted him to come out and say, like, hey, she jumped off a cliff, and be like, hey, instead of she sacrificed herself. Like, and I know it's a sensitive, subject. It's her sister, blah, 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 blah. Things can be very sensitive nowadays, but, like, hey, somebody had to die to get the Soul Stone, and she jumped off the cliff. No.
I was going to let you walk around and do it yourself, but it's all good, man. It was a decent show. I liked it.
It was something to watch. I think they might have been talking about a second season of what's the name, Moon Knight.
I've heard them go back and forth on it. I've heard them say they're gonna do one, then I've heard they're not gonna do one. I've heard them say they're gonna do it. Just like I've heard that the Blade movie is back on.
That's what I was about to say.
So there's a lot of stuff just on and on, on and off, on and off.
I think with the Blade thing, I think that's more people, pages and stuff, just trying to get what they call engagement. Because like I don't see where Marvel is officially saying anything, and obviously we don't have direct ties to Marvel, so we wouldn't know. But at the same time, a lot of times when I hear reports from these pages, it's like, hey, this is what's rumored, this is what's rumored, and sure, when the movie comes out, it may be true, it may not. A lot of times it's not true, but I think maybe at this point I'm just like, just shut up and just don't report it. Yeah, just don't report it. and then when the movie comes out, it comes out.
Well, that's how I've always been. Because Marvel themselves will come out and have a whole slate, and then some of it doesn't come out.
Yep,
so like until I see the trailer and I have a release date on a trailer, I tend to just be like, it's cool. We'll see.
Like they're sitting there, they're telling me about Spider-Man 4, and I'm like, while I'm not saying I don't care about Spider-Man, but with all you got going on right now, Spider-Man just seems like he's going back to like a rooftop hero. That's a street level hero. So it's like, look at me trying to reinvent the category. But I just remember him after getting a new flashy suit, him running across the rooftop.
But apparently, he's very well. From what I heard, you probably speak more on this than I can. But he's very pivotal to the whole like world. What is it called?
Battle World
thing or whatever. No, what's the movie?
Doomsday? Or?
No. The big movie.
Doomsday.
Secret Wars.
Yeah, they're both the big movie because it's like Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. So you got Doomsday and Secret Wars.
Yeah, but I was more so referring to Secret Wars.
Yeah, the what do they call it? The culmination.
Yeah. So apparently he's pivotal to that in the comics somehow. Just like he was pivotal to Civil War. So you kind of I can see why they want to do a fourth because you gotta have them around doing stuff.
Do you want to know? So I mean, like they're not because the character who he interacts with in the show is not even in MCU. So.
Are you talking about from the animated show?
No, from the. So you said he's pivotal in Secret Wars, the comic. Do you want to know what happened since they?
I don't care.
It's really dumb.
I'm cool.
No. I'm sorry. That's Miles Morales. Okay, never mind.
At this point we should already had a Miles Morales.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say that they said that they were gonna. Just rumors, whatever. I don't care anymore. I don't care.
I mean, and for the record, I'm not saying we need a live action like Miles Morales movie, but at least have him introduced in the world, have him be around, or just a person, whether he's just a flash by or on a TV screen, just at least have him established, like, hey, that's Miles, and then let's say 5 years later, boom, he has his movie or whatever. I don't know.
This would have been a time to do it. You can have him young, and then the 5-year gap. Have him aged up to the point where he was. Well, I'm gonna say this because that was like what, 2018. So
that was a minute.
Well, I don't know when did Endgame come out because I think Infinity War came out 2018. So maybe 20. No, because 2019. Endgame came out 2019. So that was 6 years ago.
I don't know. I can't help you.
I had to think about the pandemic, and I know nothing major happened. Because after the pandemic, that was after Endgame, and they were like, "We gonna take a year off because of."
Well, you had the pandemic, and then you had the writer's strike, so both of those hit everything hard. So I don't know. I don't see how you forgot about Hawkeye because Hawkeye is like a prequel to the Daredevil Born Again series because it kind of kicks everything off. How do you forget that, man?
To be honest, you can skip Hawkeye because. Where's his eye patch? Like nothing. I mean, he mentions it. You can skip Hawkeye and it not even matter. He said I was mentoring somebody, but that didn't work out. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't even have to be like we didn't even have to see. That could be just like in Star Wars where we lost many Bothans for this. I say skip it. Like Born Again, I'm enjoying Born Again so much, and that was one of the things I wanted to talk about. I'm definitely not saying skip Born Again. Daredevil Born Again is good. We're gonna talk about it in a second, but you can skip Hawkeye and nothing. Well,
here's my pushback to that, James. For the record, I agree with you in the sense of skipping it because it doesn't actually affect the show Daredevil Born Again. Mm-hmm. However, if it's an enjoyable show, you should still watch it.
Yeah, it's enjoyable, and I think the fact that Kate Bishop and maybe the Young Avengers, West Coast Avengers, whatever they're going to be, champions, maybe they're going to be a thing. So it's worth watching just for that. Kate Bishop is introduced in that. And I thought, for some reason, I don't know why I thought Kate Bishop was going to be the head, the person that's the primary leader. But Kamala Khan, whether you want to believe that she is popular or not, that's a whole different kind of subject. But she's apparently going to be the leader.
What makes you think she's going to be the leader?
Kamala Khan?
Yeah.
Because at the end of whatever, I don't even remember what it was. At the end of whatever, she had went up to Kate Bishop.
The Marvels?
Yeah. Hey, put the team together.
But does that make her the leader, though?
Well, I guess...
Or does it just make her the person who's recruiting everybody?
Because, Nick Fury wasn't the leader of the Avengers. I think Captain America... You can say Captain America was.
Mm-hmm.
As in... Nope. I was going to try to...
Some would say it was a co-leadership between Captain America and Iron Man.
I personally didn't see it that way. Iron Man just had, the bigger personality. So, obviously, he's going to shine. But I think it was definitively Captain America, even though his was not role, but he was not necessarily at the forefront because hey, you got these flying aliens and all these other people are just dealing with them, and Cap is just on the ground. But I still think that Captain America was the leader, but Iron Man kind of was like, you can't really curb me, you can't really control me.
Or was it the fact that, like, to your point, because he has such a big personality, as well as he is the finance, he is the tech, he is the housing. Like, he is the Elon Musk to Captain America Trump.
So, anyway, I was just.
Is that a wild comparison?
That's
a bold comparison to make.
That's good.
That's essentially what he was. Only reason I say that I feel like the only reason why I think some people say that is because with the Sokovia Accords, it kind of split those two.
And that's exactly what I was about to say. Civil War is where Iron Man kind of became his own leader, his own, like, hey, you know what? I think I know what's best for us.
Yeah, because he wanted to build a suit around the world. But anyways, I say all that to say this. I hear your point of not watching Hawkeye because it doesn't add anything to the Daredevil show. But if it's a decent enough storyline in the season, I'd say check it out.
Oh, I haven't, we haven't ranked anything in a long time, but I would put Echo above it. So, like, it's not, I think Hawkeye is never watch again territory for me. And it's not because it's bad. Like I said, it's not bad. It's just, like, not impactful enough that it matters to me.
Well, see, and that's why I'm pushing back, because, like, that's what I say, I agree with you if we're looking at it strictly from the standpoint of what does it add to the overall Marvel world. Like, I get it doesn't add much, but if it's like, because not even ranking as far as like what's it better than or worse than, but just as a show in general, do I feel like it's a watchable show? Yes. Do I need it to add up to or to add to other things? No. If it does, is that a plus? Yes. But that's just how I look at it.
Same with Moon Knight. I think I want to say that I would watch Moon Knight. Like, I know I had problems with it.
Yeah.
But it not adding up to anything has nothing to do with me not wanting to. I think that's more just because it was very not stressful. What's the word? Just frustrating.
Okay.
And then the end, as Marvel was known for its CGI endings, but like that one, they just kind of took away.
No, I get that, because like I said, I guess my whole thing is just kind of like, I feel like there's a difference. There's a difference between not liking something because it doesn't add any benefit to things, as opposed to not liking it because the story was just trash and the show was trash.
Yeah. Like,
in my mind, those are two different things. So, like, with Moon Knight, I like Moon Knight, but, like, at the same time, I also didn't go in expecting it to connect everything. But, I've often said on this podcast, too, and I think I've said this to you and Dexter, like, in real life, I feel like that's part of the reason why a lot of people don't like Marvel now is because of they're used to everything connecting and touching each other, And when stuff doesn't do that, they don't know what's happening. So it just all seems just in disarray. So there's, as opposed to like the first few phases where it's like, oh, well, this led to that, and this led to that, and this affects this, and this caused that. But at the same time, you also didn't know that at the beginning. You had to get there. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like they haven't really given Marvel time to get there. That's just my thought. Mm-hmm. Does that mean I think Marvel is doing great? No. But at the same time, I'm willing to sit back and be like, let me see what you do. I'm willing to see what happens.
I think at this point it's probably just because they are not. They try to divide it and have the new people be TV shows, and then they try to make the movies, legacy, just people who we're familiar with. But I don't know. I think at this point they have been saying, not publicly, but hey, we're going one direction. Let's pivot this direction. We originally planned to release 7 different projects a year, but now we're only going to do 3. Let's take a year off. When Deadpool came out, this made us change our minds about everything. It's. I think at this point they aren't, like, maybe they have a plan now, but I think they might have been wayward for a little bit.
Well, I think, me personally, I think that could be the issue now, or the reason why they're making the moves they're making now, as far as like bringing, Robert Downey back to be like Doomsday. But I think before it was, I feel like it was a combination of maybe they were trying to put a plan together, but then you have certain real life things that happen that cause these steps to happen in the order they're supposed to happen. Mm-hmm. Like certain shows were supposed to come out before certain shows, but since that didn't happen, everything got through into whatever. So then you had the Captain America show, which most of that got swapped around because it had to deal with like virus stuff, which the world was going through that. So you had to take all that out, or just rearrange the whole show because of that. So then it ended up being just whatever. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it was a combination of maybe they were trying to still build a plan, but then real life stuff just took their plan and just said, nah. Mm-hmm. So now they're just like, well, now we got to recover because people are already like, oh, this is trash. Now we got to recover Robert Downey, Doomsday. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just how I look at it. But I say all that to say this. This is probably going to contradict myself.
Okay.
I say all that to say this. I'm enjoying it. I haven't seen episode 3 yet before you go into it. Just so you know. But I'm enjoying the show thoroughly. I didn't come into it looking through the lens of comparing it to the old Daredevil show. However, this is where I'm finna get. I may be called a hypocrite.
Okay.
You are in Hell's Kitchen. Mm-hmm. Like, where are these other people? Like, you got Fisk like, hey, we don't want to see people swinging. Oh, that's Spider-Man you're talking about. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He's, to your point earlier, he's now become, what's the phrase? Neighborhood, whatever.
Rooftop hero, what I call it.
The do a flip, yeah, that guy. So I'm just like, is he gonna swing by?
I personally, especially with him, should we do a bet?
I don't trust myself. I don't feel confident in that bet. I felt confident in the other bet. Mm-hmm. This one I don't.
Especially with Daredevil appearing in Spider-Man's movie, you would think that, they would kind of return a favor. And there was a rumor back in the day that Spider-Man was going to appear in one other project, and it hasn't happened yet. So this seems like it would be. But, I'd use my own logic with all the rumors that I heard and thought that other things were going to happen. That didn't happen. So me asking about the bet is more just, just trying to
I get it.
Have fun.
No, I guess the reason why I'm being hypocritical in that regard is because of the type of show it is. It's a Daredevil show, meaning you have the superhero part or the vigilante part, rather. Because, does Daredevil really technically have superpowers? I mean, he does, but he doesn't. I don't really know.
I guess they're superhuman.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's whatever. But, like, it's also a lawyer procedure show. So like he can easily just Peter Parker just show up, just which they could have did it in She-Hulk, but you get what I'm saying. Like, he doesn't have to show up as Spider-Man.
So I'm not going to spoil episode 3. I liked it, loved it all the way up until the end, and it seems like they just did it all over again. And
did what all over?
That's
again?
what I don't want to say. I don't want to spoil anything for you, but something similar to something
similar to the Daredevil show.
I mean, so something in the show is similar to something in the show. I
got you.
So I thought, and with the nature of it's still a possibility. Now I'm trying to be vague. We can just move on.
Well, just based on the first 2 episodes. Well, okay, let me ask you this question. What was your excitement level going into the show initially?
I would say, I mean, let's keep it even, like I say, even 5. 5 is an even number, but just, I was...
Keep it safe.
Yeah, somewhat excited just because, Daredevil, I love the Netflix show. I love what they did. At the same time, I don't love what they did with him in She-Hulk, even though, I like what they did in Spider-Man. They said that they were going to keep it gritty, so I was cautious. So, yeah, I was somewhat excited, and while I don't agree with everything, I don't know what all has been said on the podcast. While I don't agree with everything that they did in the show so far, I don't think the show is suffering because of it. I don't know if you want to get into spoilers, because, I mean, I know you've seen the first 2 episodes.
I mean, we can get into spoilers for the first 2,
Yeah, so, the Foggy and Karen, they have been done away with. And Foggy...
Whoa. Karen has been done away with, too?
She moved to... yeah.
Made it sound like she got killed, too. I was like, wait a minute. Is that...
So...
What?
At this point, if they don't bring her back, like, she has been written out the show. Now, she can, she's not dead. So she technically could come back. But, it just seems like, I was trying to explain it to my mom. It seems like it's a reboot, but it's like, it's a continuation. It's
a reimagining.
Yeah. Well, no, I wouldn't say that, because reimagining would be like...
It has no tie to the...
Yeah, same... It's just like a completely different take on the character.
Well, yeah, I could see that.
So the parts I don't, and the first fight to me was we'll just get into it. The first fight was horrible. They threw a smoke grenade, smoke bomb, whatever. You could barely see the action, and then they cut off the lights so you couldn't see the action even more than that. And then Bullseye, I understand his powers, that he's very accurate, but he's just walking and. And all this is supposed to, look like, obviously these things are hitting the people that they're supposed to.
I'm about to say, he's taking people out.
But, 1, you can't see it, and 2, it just looks lazy, like, hey, we're just going to do this and have computers make it. It didn't look good. And, they haven't really, they had, like, that maybe one other action scene, but for the most part, I like the show for everything but the action. And I'm not saying that, you weren't going to like the action. I don't know if you liked it.
I did.
But even like when he got on the roof and he was holding him and he was punching him, it was very obvious that he was like... And obviously these people aren't hitting the other characters in real life or the other actors. But at no point during the Netflix show did I feel like I wasn't taken out of the situation because it didn't look real. But when they were on the rooftop, he was swinging past his face, and dude was like turning his head, and it was very obviously not real.
You a wrestling fan, James?
I used to be back in the day.
Okay, just curious.
I can watch it. Like I tried, and with it being fake isn't the reason that I couldn't watch it.
No,
it was the part where it's like, all right, I gotta get up and pseudo pull you and drag you, throw you into the ring.
Yeah. And
I don't know.
No, I get you. Like, but I I hear what you're saying. I guess my thing about that part, as far as the action wise goes, it goes back to, like I said earlier, I put it in that box of, if I'm invested in what's going on, if I'm enjoying the show, if I'm enjoying the ride, I don't like. I didn't think the smoke grenade fight was bad because I couldn't see anything. Like, I get it, like it's just, but it's hard to. Okay, I'm just trying to walk you through my thought process. Mm-hmm. Part of me is like, I'm not caring about the whatever of it because I'm invested in what's going on. But then the other part of me is like, I know they did this because they're hiding whatever, because it's a TV show with not that big of a budget. So you're going to cut corners where you can. I get it. But if I'm enjoying the show, if I'm enjoying what's happening, I could care less. Unless it's like something like blatantly obvious where like, oh, we're going to shoot him and then the bullet, goes through a building. I don't know. It has to be something like very like obvious to me.
So, one, I think we can both agree that Netflix probably has more money than... Disney has more money than Netflix.
Yeah.
So, whether they decided to scale back on the budget for whatever reasons, that's not, it's a possibility. But at no point during the Netflix show did they, that I can remember, I can't say that for a fact, but I don't think they ever used smoke or something to obscure. So the fact that you have, that's not even a lesser known company. I mean, Netflix is pretty well known, but just going from this. I want to say lesser budget to being able to see all these dark hallway nighttime action sequences very clearly to barely being able to see anything is a disappointment. But you said that if you're invested, if you're into it, I mean, this was like the beginning of the episode.
But it's also like, okay, I was invested because I was, to go back to piggyback off my question. Your excitement level was a 5. I was at probably about a 6 or 7 because I really liked the Daredevil series, right? So when it starts out, you see the 3 of them because obviously I didn't even know they were coming back. So you see them, the nostalgia, they laughing at it. It's just, they put you back in that world. So I'm like, I'm just having a good time. Yeah. Then on top of that, you see a buddy get shot. So it's like, oh, what's gonna happen next? So like, I'm in it now, and so I'm invested. Like, what? How is he gonna live? Obviously, he's probably not, but you don't know. So it's like that pulled me in.
And so yes, to me that seems like what it. I'm not gonna say. I was gonna say should have done. That's what it did. And I was like you said. The 2 characters returning. Hey, this seems like it's gonna be picking up where we left off. I'm excited. Yes, let's do this. Fargy got shot. Holy crap! What is going on? I can't tell because I can't see.
I get you, but I mean, I get your point as far as like the money wise for Disney and Netflix, but Netflix didn't. Everything wasn't well lit in the Netflix show either. They had a hallway scene in the dark. Everything wasn't that brightly lit in that fight scene either.
Yeah, but that's what I could see though. Like I could see what was going on. It wasn't like it was Game of Thrones dark. Like to the point where
that's a whole different.
Yeah,
we've already. Let's not go back down that road. The point I'm making is I hear you in the sense of like they have different money, but I'm also making the point of like Netflix maybe they cut corners in different ways, but they knew where to cut the corners. But then you also got to look at the fact of like Netflix doesn't really care about giving money out. Disney is very cheap sometimes. They had a She-Hulk show where they cut the last episode to her talking to a robot to not do CGI. They pull money and they're not willing to just give it out, especially for a first season or something that they still kind of like. I'm not. Is it going to be good? Obviously people are probably gonna watch it because it's Daredevil, but at the same time, we don't want to just give it everything just yet.
And that's where I feel like just studios and they just don't really understand the audience. Like everybody, I haven't talked to everybody, but I can guarantee that probably if you look at the tomato meter, whatever you want to call it, 90% of people who watch these shows probably loved it. So for you to I don't know, just don't mess with the winning formula. And I think a lot of that first fight scene, I won't say a lot of it, but was CGI, and it didn't have to be. And I understand, it's Disney. It may be easier to do it in front of a green screen, but him jumping across rooftops and using this thing.
Now I will say that, not to cut you off, that part did kind of bother me, but not for the same reason that you're mentioning.
Okay, because I was going to say, I know he got on rooftops in the Netflix version. I don't remember him. I won't say running, because I mean he did parkour. I know that, but swinging and it was CGI, and it looked like, so No Way Home, when Spider-Man had got that flashy suit and he was just running across, it looked exactly like that. Now, obviously not the same suit, but it looked like it was not very good CGI. It just looked identical, and I understand Spider-Man and Daredevil, they have history, but you could save money there.
See, that's your opinion. Like I said, CGI didn't bother me. My issue had nothing to do with CGI. Okay. My issue was, when did he become Spider-Man?
Yeah. So I know, he swings around with his I don't know what to call him, but
the baton, whatever.
Yeah, but they extend. So
I don't know. I'm asking. I don't know.
Baton is probably a good word for it. But I know he does. I know he does, in cartoons and comics. I didn't. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. It just, like you said, we haven't. It was not.
I get it if okay, I'm shooting to the top of this building, I'm gonna shoot it up and pull myself up. Which I know he did that a few times in She-Hulk when he was fighting or whatever. He used it to go to the top of the building. But it's all right, cool, that's fine. But when I see him, I was like, is this Spider-Man?
Yep, Batman, Spider-Man.
What?
That's just.
And it was effortlessly too. It was yeah. I was like, what?
And he at the top of the building, so I don't know where he hooking on to.
Well, I mean, Spider-Man. There's always been the whatever issue of Spider-Man in the first few.
Yeah.
What is he shooting to? I don't know. I have no idea, to be honest with you, James.
That's why that one episode he was in the park or something. He had to run because he was like, I ain't got nothing. No.
Yeah. Because sometimes you wouldn't even see it; it would just go up. I don't, and the camera won't follow it, so you don't know what it's shooting to. I don't know. Yeah. But overall, first 2 episodes, the only issue I had so far, and this is more so story-wise, and I haven't seen the 3rd episode, so I could very well be wrong about this. I didn't want him to kill the police officers in the apartment. Well, and that's why I said, from what it looks like he killed them. They could, for all I know, they could have just been knocked out. But either way it goes, old buddy's arm is broken. And the other guy fell on his neck. I don't know.
It was a good place to leave off, to release the first 2 episodes and be like, all right, you got to wait till next week, because it kind of goes against what he's been doing since Foggy died. So it's like, oh, you're putting yourself in a bad position. So yeah, it's interesting to see where he goes from there.
And then too, for me, it was more so from the standpoint of too, it was you work in this case. These guys are the crooked cops. It doesn't help if you kill them. But now they're. I mean, again, like I said, I don't know if they're dead, but this is just my thought process. If you kill them, now it looks bad on you. Then also, Fisk is already you're already on his radar, just in general. So why would you do that? So
I was wondering. So once he got old dude out the apartment, they could have easily did the Batman thing, where as soon as they opened up, he was gone. So I did question why he was there to begin with, but obviously they did it for the shock factor.
They could have done it for that. I feel like they did it. If I'm looking at it from a logical standpoint, I feel like they did it because he was there. I feel like if he wasn't there, they would still try to chase him. But he was there to kind of buy him some time.
That makes sense.
Because I don't know how close that park he told him to go to is.
That's true.
Is it close? Is it 5 minutes? Is it 30 minutes? I don't know. So he probably was there to kind of stop him, to give him some time to get away. But he could he's Daredevil, right? He's been a vigilante for almost 4 seasons now. You know how to beat people up but not kill them.
Okay, so that's what you're saying. I mean, yeah.
You could. I mean, I get he wasn't fighting back at first because he's playing the little humble blind lawyer, or whatever. And then until they started, put the gun to him, and obviously now I got to fight back. But you could have just knocked him out.
Yeah, I don't want to say it doesn't matter at that point if you kill him. Obviously, if you kill him, that you don't really have any witnesses. But at the same time, they know. Yeah, I think he probably would have been better off killing him.
Why though?
Because then nobody could say, "Hey, he was there," which he can be there. That's fine. Mm-hmm. And he kicked our butts. Like there's something different about him. Like he assaulted police officers. So he should be in jail. Mm-hmm. But he's more than just a blind lawyer.
Yeah, but the whole season. A good part of the episode, law-wise, was him dealing with the case of a guy who killed a police officer, 1. Mm-hmm. And they are already after him for killing that 1. Now you go and kill 2. You see what I'm saying?
So I was, okay, and I was also going to say, like, obviously, if it got found out that he did mess with some officers, that would mess up the trial as well. But, he has a fixer, and I mean, I know that's not his character, but if he needed to, I feel like Daredevil season, I don't remember when he was killing people, but he would be like, hey, make this go away. But that's not who he is.
And that's what I'm saying. But he's not that Daredevil right now, at least.
Yeah.
So that, like I said, that's why I'm looking at it logically. But I'm also, when I say logically, I'm looking at it as far as in regards of like the actual case that he's fighting. It's kind of like it doesn't help your case if you kill these 2 cops who you're trying to prove framed the White Tiger. So it's like, why kill them? You know what I mean? Again, they could not be dead. I haven't seen the 3rd episode. It's just what I'm thinking as of right now.
Yeah, if he doesn't kill him, I mean, to be honest, they probably would. They probably tell the crooked cops, but as far as like coming out and telling, I was going to say correctional officers, like commanding officers, anybody above them, they probably have to keep their mouth shut because they were doing something shady. So I would assume that Daredevil there would be some level of not trust, but hey, you shut up, I won't say anything.
Well, and not only that, but like if you don't kill them, it doesn't hurt your case because 1, you found the witness, so you saved him. So the witness can now pinpoint them and say, these are the guys that framed them. So now you get them put in jail because I mean obviously if you got a witness, you still got to fight the case. But like if you win, you put them in jail now. So now they're away. But if you just kill them, and he's just like, yeah, the 2 guys are there. What happened to them? I don't know where they at. Because I mean, obviously, if you talk about them coming to the apartment, then now you gotta bring up all the other details with it. Because I mean, lawyer. I'm just like I said, maybe I'm thinking about like all the lawyer shows I watch. It doesn't help the case if you kill the people you're trying to actually prove to be guilty.
Just go ahead and keep watching.
I'm just saying, man. Again, haven't seen the 3rd episode. But that's just my thoughts. That's it. Anything else you want to talk about?
Oh, well, I've got a few things. Invincible.
I haven't watched it yet.
I'm loving. I know you've seen Severance, so it's like you've seen most of Severance. I've seen most of Invincible. Have you seen the track? The two girls track, and then one of them hit the other girl with the baton.
Is baton the word we just gonna use for that?
Yeah.
Everything is baton now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that video. I've seen the video, and I've seen the girl when she came out and she was apologizing, and then I seen the other girl. She's like, I just want her to tell me why. Why did she do it? I just want to know why.
So, what are your thoughts on
it? It is what it is.
Do you feel like it was done on purpose?
I feel like we won't know.
I feel like it was very obvious that it was done on purpose. Like there was nothing, and stoking the fire, whatever. But like, so I want to talk about 2 things. So it came out that one girl, the girl that hit the girl, was kind of upset that she was coming into her lane.
Yeah.
If you watch the video, the girl that hit the other girl, the lane, she was more on the side of where the other girl's lane was, and she might have been doing that to try to what's the word? make her not want to come over into her lane. But, for her to say, she was coming over, one, that's a part of track. Because if you listen to anybody who ran track on TikTok, whatever, they say that, bumping is a part of the sport.
I mean, the lanes aren't that big. It's kind of hard not to.
So, one, you were more closer to her lane. Well, I guess they were both at the edge. But anyway, and if you look at the video, it's very obvious that she came back and hit her in the back of the head. And then the other thing was she had said that it got caught on something on the back of her. The video don't look like anything got caught. But let's just assume it did. Going forward is not how you get something like you if you're trying to get something uncaught. That's not a word. Yeah. But you want to move back, which I can understand is the pulling back kind of thing. But it just nothing about what she said makes any sense with the video.
No, I get that, but I guess the reason why I say we want to know is because, you have the video, but there's been plenty of times where you have a video and it still boils down to she say. Because I could watch the video, I've seen the video, it can look like, oh yeah, she did hit her, but then just being a person who's played sports, I could also see an argument where she was just in the range, she was in the motion of just moving whatever. I can see both sides, but at the end of the day, my overall thought process is whether it was intentional or not, it happened. You should still apologize for it. You should still make amends for it. Now, whether that's why I said I would never know as far as whether she intended to or not, because I can't judge anybody's intentions. I don't know. Whatever. But at the end of the day, the action still happened. Now, what do you do after that? That's where I fall. I was like, okay, you say whatever you say, but she still got a concussion.
Yep. Possible skull fracture. Yep.
Yeah, so it's what are you gonna pilot? What are you gonna do?
And then on top of that, they said that the coach, the team, the other person, the person that hit her, none of them came by to see if she was okay, say sorry, anything.
Yeah, no. I mean, it definitely, again, coming from somebody who plays sports, it definitely makes a difference. Because when I played football, I had a situation with a guy on a different team where, because I'm not gonna say I was doing him dirty all night, but I was. Because I'm not saying I was that dude, but I was a guy
you were
who was doing him dirty that night.
You let your actions speak for you.
And so because he was on defense, I'm on offense, so he wasn't getting past all night. So it got to the point to where I blocked him just out the way, right? So again, I don't know the intention, I don't know the thought process. He kicks me in the nuts, right?
Did you have a cup on?
No. So that happened, right?
All right, Drake.
Obviously, I'm pissed. It's whatever. I don't know why he decided to do it. I can make an assumption because he was getting done dirty.
Yep.
I get it.
Yep.
But it still happened, right? Thought nothing about it. Probably the next couple of days, coach calls me into the locker room. Hey, old buddy wrote you a letter of apology. So I get the letter. I read. I was like, you know what? That's what's up. I appreciate that.
Was this person on your team or was it
No, he's from another team, from another school.
Interesting.
So he wrote me a letter. Now whether he had help with it or whether it was his idea, I don't know.
And it doesn't really matter
But I was like, I appreciate that.
So, did anybody see it?
Oh yeah.
So okay.
Oh yeah.
Because I was gonna say I didn't know if it was more it was something between y'all, and then he could have just walked away and nothing happened.
Oh, my mom saw it.
Okay.
She was hot.
I got you.
48 hot, James. You kick my boys. It is lower region. Old people it can't say nuts for some reason.
Everything's a cuss word.
His nether regions.
Can't say stupid. Stupid's a cuss word.
I never. Well, I can say I didn't understand it, but at the same time, I was just like, but if you say something stupid.
That brings me, to another LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith. But
he walking up on him.
Mm-hmm. So I at one point I wanted to do words that kids say are cuss words, but they aren't. I can't think of any more right now because they were replaced. It's so funny, and parents do what's the word? They raise their kids differently. So instead of saying lying, you can't say stupid. You can't instead of saying lying, fibbing, telling stories.
You calling me a liar? No, I just said you said something that wasn't true. I'm not calling you a liar. I'm just saying what you're saying isn't right. That's what I had to do, because you can't. It's like you can say it, but you can't say the word, because if you say the word, it makes it serious. But if I use the definition, it's kind of like, oh, okay.
And in my head, I didn't say the word, so I can be like, yeah. You call me a liar? Yep. I didn't say the word, so you can't get mad at me.
Well, now you can't.
Yeah, I know.
Because now you're being smart.
Yep.
Oh, you being smart with me?
At what age? I know at some point, like you probably have said something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Me and my mom have got it. Well, now we have gotten into some
right.
Like, because I can't remember what I said exactly, but we're having a conversation about something, and I think I said something along the lines of like you ain't trying to hear what I'm trying to say or something like that. And she said, you talking to me like one of your friends? I was like, but at the same time I was like, well, we both adults, aren't we?
Yep.
Last I checked, I'm 30 plus.
I'm not gonna talk to you like you not a
yeah. That's what I told her. I said, I obviously I still got respect for you because you're my mom, but at the same time I have thoughts and opinions, and I'm going to voice them.
Everything you said makes me think about. So I don't know if I told you about. Yeah, I think I did. Somebody went to the hospital. I'm trying not to put too much information.
Oh yeah. I had to think about. Were you talking about like recent or like past? Yeah.
So his actual mom and his uncle have come into town, and they are treating him like crap. Yeah, I remember talking to him. And so he just called me like a couple hours ago, and I think I told you that one of them said I should slap you or something like that.
Oh no, you didn't tell me that part.
Yeah,
last we talked, I know you were worried about them treating him wrong, but you didn't say that they had.
So he said something, and his uncle kind of snapped on him, and I don't know, man. It's not in any better position.
Well, we can talk about that. We can talk about that off.
Yeah.
But I get it. But not to switch gears so abruptly. But since you brought it up, and they want to be involved in the conversation, they probably can't. I don't know if they can hear me or not, but they out there. How do you feel about the whole LeBron Stephen A. situation?
So I feel as a father, everybody's going to want to stand up for their kid. So I understand why LeBron did what he did, but it's Stephen A. Like I like a lot has happened since the initial thing, and I haven't been keeping up with it. But LeBron, he's an adult.
He's in the NBA.
Yep, he's in the NBA, and nobody is above criticism. So while I commend LeBron for standing up for his child, you kind of gotta this is your fault.
Yeah, because I've heard a few people talk about this, and I agree with the fact or the statement that because I didn't know anything about this, because I heard, and the only reason I know I didn't say I know it to be true, but the only reason why I believe it is because a lot of people have seemed to have brought up the same point. You made the statement of, my son is better than some of the players in the NBA, and he wasn't even at college yet. You know what I'm saying? So you already putting a target on his back.
Yep.
So then when he gets to the NBA and he plays,
how he's been playing.
Not to say he can't get better or he won't get better, obviously, because he is a good player. He's not trash, but he's still like any 55th pick. He's adjusting.
There's been improvements.
Yeah, he's adjusting. So it's like, but for you to make that statement, then for him to come in and play how he's played, and for him to be a NBA player, because he's back and forth between the G League and the NBA. If I'm on TV, if I'm on media, if he plays a game where he's 0 for whatever, or 1 for 50, whatever, because they already talk about LeBron almost every other segment just because he's LeBron.
And that's what I was going to say. If you getting talked about, why would you put your son in this position and expect him not to get talked about?
To your point, like, first of all, I get father being a father. I get it. But to the point, I would feel a different way if, let's say, Stephen A. or just anybody in media, if they were talking about Bronny's character, or like something to do with him, which they do that with everybody, but just say something outside of his play. Then it's like, hey man, don't talk about my son like that. Like, yeah, he's supposed to be Bron's son, and he's going over 13, trying to find out he was out there partying. Like that, okay. Yep. Now it's like, I get the point. Like, hey, don't talk about my son like that. But
get professional, get basketball.
But if he's in the NBA player, not doing well, and he's LeBron's son, why would we not talk about him?
You don't hear Dale Curry coming out, defending Steph Curry when he was having, not necessarily bad years, but when they were talking about is the Warriors still, championship contenders? Like, is their time over? And obviously that's not a knock on Curry, but Curry has had his periods where he was like not as shooting as well. Klay Thompson, Michael Thompson ain't come out when people were saying that Klay Thompson isn't as good as he used to be. Yeah. All these other NBA fathers ain't saying anything. No. LeVar, you can say LeVar probably hyped his sons more than LeBron did.
But that's the difference though. Like, LeVar hyped his sons up. He came out and was like, I'm putting a target on him because my sons are that great. And then when they came out, because when Lonzo first got drafted, he didn't come out the gate just being great either. But then nobody be like, oh man, we're not gonna talk about his son because he said okay. You talked about him because he's the hot topic, And LeVar did come out, hey, don't talk about my son. No, I said it was great. I put it out there. Now he didn't know his other son was gonna be rapping. But,
I mean, get your money.
I saw a side note. I saw a post. I don't know if you saw this. It was a post. It was a meme, or it was a video rather. Because he performed at the All-Star thing, and it was like, this is the most time he's ever spent on the NBA court. It's like, dang. But they're true. That's right though.
I just like I just thought of it as full circle. He's been trying to get in the NBA, and this is like, this is
he caught the back door. I can't play, but I can still be there. Bird on the corner. Whoa. I said what? Hey man,
my thing is like you gotta. What's your next hit gonna be? What's your next something gonna be?
I don't know, but I don't know. That's a whole nother thing. I had another talk, but I'm not gonna take the conversation to a different place.
Okay. I'm all for it. I like the controversy.
Well, it's not necessarily a controversy. It's just a thought of like, because I mean, obviously there are exceptions to everything, and I just think about how, like, I wonder if, because I'm not trying to say the song is trash. Not for me. I ain't really, the biggest fan of it, but I don't hate it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Same.
I do like Lil Wayne's verse on the remix, but that's probably the best part of the song to me.
I don't, but go ahead.
I mean, I get what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying, I'm also not saying it's the best Wayne verse ever. Yeah. I'm just saying I like it, but my thought is, would it be as big as it is if he wasn't who he is?
Part of it, and I'm not even saying, because obviously Lonzo doesn't even have the best music career, but I heard that Lonzo wrote the chorus, the hook, whatever, or helped write it. But even then, that doesn't mean that's what made it hit, because obviously Lonzo hasn't really broken in. I think just all the pieces perfectly fit, and I say that it could have just as easily have flopped. LiAngelo's NBA career has flopped, so why should his music career not flop? I think maybe music, and I'm not saying that I know, because obviously I've been in the music industry.
But you are a producer, did we establish that in the last episode?
We did. But most of what music is like who you can pay. So you got to pay people to play your music. So I think part of it is probably have something to do with that.
Because I'm just thinking, like, it's one thing for him to come out with a song and it to be, big, right? obviously it has to have some enjoyment, quality to it. Mm-hmm. But for him to go just drop the song, it be as big as it was, and then you're performing at the All-Star game.
That part I felt like had to have been some other brothers or something doing with it.
But see, I don't know, because it's also like, okay, you drop the song. They're playing the song at the games during halftime, during timeout. Mm-hmm. You got NBA, commentators like, shacking and playing it on the inside or whatever. It's like, if it had been Halliburton, would it be probably so? If it was Johnny Two-Stone from Connecticut. Would it have gotten that? I'm not saying even if the song is good, it wouldn't get to a certain point, but would it have progressed that fast?
So I'm gonna say this before I forget. Isn't Conecuh a place? I know it's Conecuh sausage, but
yeah, I think it's Conecuh, Alabama.
That's where I was.
I could be wrong though, but
that's where I was hoping you were going to go instead of Connecticut. So yeah, like why pick LiAngelo over Damian Lillard? Damian.
He has albums.
Yeah, he has multiple albums. He's more. I don't want to say known, obviously now, but he was the NBA rapper.
Amon Shumpert's got an album.
Mm-hmm. So why is LiAngelo better than him? Why should he get the nod for All-Star Game and not? I mean, Dame, if he's in the All-Star Game, obviously, he could, but I can understand that. I just answered my own question.
But to your point, Amon Shumpert isn't playing right now.
That's true.
Now one can make the argument he hasn't had a song as big as Jello's, but if he did, could he not get a nod?
I've got a question.
What's up?
So obviously LiAngelo's name isn't spelled Jello, but when you call him Jello, do you think like
no?
I don't know why.
I automatically see the GELO.
Yeah, that's up until this very point. I've never
think about that.
Nope.
That's stupid.
Yeah, okay.
It's Jello cups, man.
Oh my goodness! See, that's that's his ticket. He needs to get on a 10-day contract and get in a dunk contest and invent a dunk and call the Jello cups.
Listen, man, don't even get started on the dunk contest. We've had the same guy win the last 3 years, and he don't even play in the NBA.
Which he made good dunks, and the sad thing is,
did he though?
Yeah, like okay, when it comes to
James?
When it comes to when you don't. After Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon, it is very well documented that people have not been creative. So the Obi Toppin, I can't even remember, like before Mac McClung, there was I know the Obi Toppin win, and there was one more person. And his dunks, Mac McClung, are way better than Obi Toppin and that other guy. Let me look it up. Because to my point, I'm not even arguing that his dunks are better than previous people. I'm just asking, in general, did he do good dunks? I not even comparing them. Were they good? Excuse me. Anthony Simons. Oh, Derrick Jones Jr. That was the one. And Hamidou. Oh my goodness. Wait a minute. Are these really?
Just say nobody, James. Just say nobody won since.
Derrick Jones Jr. is a good dunk contest. Is a good dunker. But
it wasn't good. I watched it. It wasn't.
I remember Open Top and Hamidou Diallo. Those are the ones that I was like,
So like I said, nobody won since Zach LaVine, and then you had a G Leaguer win 3 years in a row. And so while his dunks are impressive to me, they're good, especially for they're not. He's a smaller guy, and the fact that you have Blake Griffin, who was celebrated for jumping over the hood of a Kia, and then you have Mac McClung, who actually jumped over the actual car. I give you
and
that.
And not only that, the dunk wasn't just to jump over and just like a regular dunk.
I give you that.
So I think if you look at not the intricacies, but it's more than just standard dunks.
For the record, I'm not saying his dunks are trash. I'm just saying, just looking at the dunks themselves, can I just, in all honesty, say those are 3-time slam dunk dunks? 3-time slam dunk champion dunks?
So putting them against Zach LaVine, I remember there was one where he was just like every single one he was going between the legs.
Mm-hmm.
So I would put Mac McClung against those Zach LaVine, even though he beat Aaron Gordon, who has some of the greatest dunks of all time.
That was probably the last time I was excited for the dunk competition.
I will say that not so. Aaron Gordon, when he did the drone, that was no. That's a miss for me.
You didn't like Victor Oladipo with the Black Panther mask?
Listen. And then Dwight Howard.
You didn't like what's the tall guy's name? He used to be on Shaq and the Fool all the time.
Not JaVale McGee.
JaVale McGee, where he dunked on 2 goals at the same time.
I remember that.
You didn't like that?
It's a good gimmick. And then like Mac McClung, he did the two balls at one time, and he was. I felt like that one could have been better. Like obviously, it's better than just a regular dunk, but having one on the rim, you can just like it's you're up there, so it's not hard to just push this in the rim and then put another one in.
Yeah.
So that one could have been a little bit more bounce off or something. Could have been a little bit more.
You didn't like the Jaylen Brown doing the no look after you land?
I like Jaylen Brown.
You didn't like the fact that he closed his eyes after he hit the ground?
I'm a big Jaylen Brown fan.
I'm on the ground.
He should have stayed at home.
No look. Oh, I made it. No look.
And then it's almost like he was trying to get people like, hey, did you see me not looking?
I didn't look. I'm not looking.
Jaylen.
It's like he got caught cheating on the test. Oh, well, no.
I'm the king of no looks up. Thumbs up, 7-up.
He didn't have a headband up. I'm just going to put my armpit up. I mean, my elbow up. I didn't look, but I'm looking. I'm peeking. They should have played this. Oh, it wasn't out there. They should have did peekaboo when he was doing it. I guess my point is, I'm not saying he doesn't have great dunks, but I feel like 3 competitions, some of them are different, some of them are great. A good bit of them are just repetitive, jumping over tall people. Mm-hmm. And then, if you want, I'm not saying he does this, but some would say there is a bit of push off when he jumps over people.
I look for that, and I personally don't see it. And I'm not saying he hasn't, but for the ones that I thought he would push off, I don't see it.
And that's why I say I can't, because I didn't. I know he's been in the competition 3 times. I've only watched the first one. I didn't watch the other 2, so I don't really know. And I wasn't critiquing, going back, slowing the video. But, I just know typically when people do those type of dunks, there's a thought of like, did he? Did he push off? I don't know.
It's so sad to be. Okay, let me rephrase that. Can you imagine being in Diddy's situation where everything? I know I was gonna say so. We don't want to go that route. Can you imagine being in Diddy's situation where everything has come out about what he has been doing, and then they go back to a dunk contest where he like went up on his tippy toes, and it almost looks like he tried to get a swipe of just it would suck if it were me or you, and people like try to find times where you did something shady.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just because, I don't know, man. I guess my overall thing is just like, I like Mac McClung. He's a good dunker, but and maybe, okay, let me rephrase my argument. Mm-hmm. Maybe he is just a great dunker. Mm-hmm. Maybe the issue is he didn't go against nobody.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Like he wouldn't listen, I'm from Chicago. Mm-hmm. So I want to see Midas Bruzelis, what's the name?
That sound like
succeed.
Sound like you sneezed. I don't know who that is.
I want to see him succeed, but he did not deserve. I don't want to say deserve. He looked very. He did not look athletic in that dunk contest.
Well, that's the thing. Like some people are just in-game dunkers, and some people are like dunk competition people. Like I don't think Zion Williamson would do that great in a dunk competition.
See, if I was in that position, he's got the hops, he's got the power. I think he has the tools to do it.
I don't think he has the creativity.
That's what I was gonna say. So pay somebody, like get Jordan Kilgannon, like somebody. Like there are so many people on the internet, on TikTok, you know, and I'm not saying that I'm just always looking, but every now and then a video might come across my feed, and there's a guy who went between his legs and went behind his back with his left hand. Like
I saw a guy jump, go behind his back, throw it off the backboard, catch it with the left hand, and then dunk.
Exactly. And if I'm not going to say, you know, I mean, they are regular people.
Yeah.
If they can do it, imagine Zion. Like, hey, pay me. You don't even 100,000. Like 100,000 is a lot to somebody who probably.
Yeah, I feel like the issue with Zion though is like even if you paid somebody to come up with dunks for you, to your point, because he is so strong and powerful and he can jump real hard or whatever, it's just gonna look like a powerful guy doing a creative dunk. It's not gonna look as creative like as opposed to like a Ja who is smaller and can jump at the gym.
But that's the point. Like sometimes these judges who suck at their job, which
that's a whole other.
And they had a fan amulet. Wow, element to it.
They had a fan amulet, James. When did this happen?
Season 3 of Daredevil. I mean, episode 3 of Daredevil.
Not to go back, but when I saw the amulet on the top of the suit in the second, they found it. Well, first off, they found the suit very easily.
Yes,
you can tell he's just a regular guy who's just putting on the suit. I'm just gonna put it in this wood box. But then it showed the amulet. It was just like you saw the suit, and it's like he took the suit off. Oh man, tired of being amulet. It's like he just placed it on top. Here, but put the amulet right there.
Yeah.
It was all like, cool. Here's the amulet.
It's a ritual. It's a part. You know, anybody who becomes the White Tiger has to take off their anyway. Yeah.
Because I guess I'm just trying to, because like I said, I said I want to go back, but I'm just thinking like, so do you wear the amulet on top of the suit?
I couldn't get it out the first time. Anybody that becomes a White Tiger has to take off their drawers before they take off their pants.
But it's just like, or is the amulet? I don't understand it because like, you take the amulet off, set it, take the suit off, put the amulet on top, or is the amulet like you said under? And so you take your amulet and the drawers off first, and then you take the suit off. I don't know. Also, I'm sorry not to keep diverting the topic because I'm just. My thoughts are coming.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know the White Tiger mantle gets passed down to different people, and I know he's like the original. Then I think his daughter takes it up,
something like that. Yeah.
So I think I read that somewhere. I don't know when, but because I remember for some reason looking at the White Tiger. Don't ask me why. I just did. When I saw him in the show, I was like, you know, because they showed the clip on the news of the White Tiger, and then they showed him in the court, he was in the hanging up. I was like, he's not gonna be doing that long. Not like he gonna die, but like in the show, I was like, I don't think he's gonna have him do the action for a whole but long time.
What makes you say that?
Cause he's just an older guy, and I know the amulet gives you like, tiger youth and powers or whatever, but like. As just an actor, I was like, yeah, they're gonna pass that mantle down pretty quick.
That's funny.
I was like, because they found a suit episode 2. I was like, yeah, episode 5, he's gonna pass that thing down.
I was gonna say, but if I don't think it's his wife, because I mean they could, not substitute, but
they have a daughter.
Have they showed her?
No, but they mentioned her in the episode 2 because he talked about his daughter or his wife mentioned her daughter. So they have a daughter, and then like I think I watched some kind of review, and there's a picture of the family. So he has a daughter in the show.
Okay.
Now how old she is, I don't know, but
the amulet will age her up, whenever she puts it on.
Or Hollywood would do that.
Yeah, that's
one of the two. I don't know, but
some smoke grenades, and you can't tell.
All I know is, mark my words, episode 5 and 6, amulet passed down. That's all I know. I don't think because you watch him in that convenience store. That White Tiger is, his step ain't that light. That suit already ain't tight, so it's just kind of like he just painted some stripes on like a white hoodie and some jeans. He's like, yeah, I'm White Tiger.
It's so random. Like he just came out of nowhere.
Because Daredevil was around, so he had to pick up the mantle.
I've been wanting to do, and so the videos where people like TikTok, they have some people who I'm assuming they're getting paid by doing like the least amount of work. So they find videos of whatever, and then they sit there, look this way, play a video. Look that way, play a video.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking, like, if I was a criminal in New York, come out the door, look this way, Spider-Man. Look this way, Matt Murdock.
Yeah. They can be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
My question is, who made that hole in the street?
I don't remember the whole industry.
So when I think it's episode 1 or 2 when Fisk was stuck in traffic.
Oh, yep.
And he was like, "Well, there's a hole." Well, no, he's like, "There's a hole in the street." And so it looked like somebody landed or somebody did something. I don't know who.
I thought maybe they were going to tie that to something too. I don't know if that's what you were saying that you thought, but I was like, I wonder if this is a reference to something.
It has to be. Mm-hmm. As many, which. I know we all over the place. We got all we got all the way away from Mac McClung. Another thought is because superheroes don't really make money, right? Especially vigilantes, right?
Right.
How can they all afford to live in Hell's Kitchen? I know Hell's Kitchen is a bad place, but it still ain't cheap.
I mean, I would just assume that wages. Nope. I don't know. I don't know
because a lot of them don't have the best day jobs, so. Matt Murdock himself is taking cases on pro bono because he like people. Mm-hmm. So
Captain America can drive a big old, pickup truck, and then when it gets destroyed, he's driving an electric Hummer.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, man.
What's the best part of that was the best part of the movie to me.
What's up?
Captain America having money because he couldn't get a loan for crap in the show. Hey, I'm on a loan. I'll take the pictures though. Now come the movie time, he got Hummers, he got a nice little loft with him and what's the new Falcon who he made it sure you knew every 5 minutes when I came from Miami because I was at Miami back in Miami. Then he had a jacket with Miami, and then I was like, oh, I wonder where he's from. I wonder where he came from. Miami. Oh, what? I did not know that.
That's where Nope, don't do it. Don't do it.
I saw your wheels turn.
I started to.
Hey, this has been another episode of The Biggest Show. I'm not gonna let you do it, James.
Welcome to another episode.
Oh, welcome to the end of the episode of The Biggest Show.
We hope you enjoyed everything after the intro.
Did you think Mac McClung could dunk? Let us know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
I wonder. This is another side question. Is he even good at basketball? Because I'm not asking because I'm trying to talk trash. I'm legit asking because I've never seen him play.
I feel like if he was, we probably would hear about him being in the G League, but we don't. I mean, do we hear about anybody besides Bronny in the G League?
Well, we heard about that one dude that came up for like 10 days for the Lakers.
I mean, every now and then we hear about, but like we don't hear about them how they're doing in the G League.
Oh yeah, no, not at all. I don't know.
I know there's somebody. I remember the only person I can think of is the person who has the most points from the G League. That's I don't even know his name, but that's the only person I've heard.
Didn't they just get rid of a G League team too? I heard something about that.
So the Ignite wasn't affiliated with any certain city. It was more just like a developmental. Hey, you are this person. You were like the next up when it came to high school players, and instead of going to college, you can come here. We develop you, but everybody that came out of there did not necessarily do as well as they thought they would.
I don't know. I have another question. We don't have to answer on this episode because I also feel like this. I also feel this way about the NFL to a certain degree. Mm-hmm. Is it the fact that some players are not good when they come into the pros, or is it that the development teams behind the scenes are just not great?
I'm right there with you. Like that, there's a definite balance because I know being a Bulls fan, people talk about Laurie marketing and how he did so well after he left the Bulls. Or what's the name? So the thing is we traded for Nikola Vucevic from the Magic. So We get Nikola, we give them draft picks. The draft picks, one of them becomes Franz Wagner. Now, Franz Wagner has been doing well with the Magic.
So he got a brother in the league too?
Mo Wagner.
Okay.
So, and I hear Bulls fans all the time, we got the bad end of the deal because we could have had Franz Wagner. I hear you.
However,
would he have done this well if he was with the Bulls?
I don't think so.
Exactly. Like we had, I'm not going to say Lauri Markkanen was Franz Wagner, but Lauri Markkanen, like his thing was he was being put in a specific role. And then when he got traded away, he was able to expand outside that role and he did well. So that's one thing that I think a lot of fans just don't take into consideration is that, just because we have somebody, we could have gotten somebody like the Warriors. The Warriors could have had LaMelo Ball. Like LaMelo Ball would have been a completely different player if he came to the Warriors.
He would have. I mean, it's the same. It's kind of the same. It's not same side of the coin, but like the other side of the coin, where it's kind of like you get them. The development team is not that great because they leave, they go be better players. But then you also look at the situations where you have some teams that aren't that great, and then they get a better coach or a new coach, and now they play a whole lot different. So it's like, is it all on the players, or I don't know? But because you look at the bench, you'd be like 19 different people sitting behind the players. I don't know what all them people do, but they got them.
And sometimes I feel bad. Like there are some players that I won't say I know, but they had all the hype, and then they go to a team, let's say like the Knicks, and who the Knicks are, Tom Thibodeau is notorious for playing in storms, and they don't even get the opportunity. So they're probably, I know they're on the bench like, man, if I would have went somewhere else.
Oh yeah.
Which like if I kind of try to put myself into, my mindset. Yeah. But I know that if I was a tall, good-looking, whatever person, that my mindset would be completely different. But whenever I played sports, I didn't necessarily play to win, even though, I was one of the better players on my baseball teams. I just want to have fun.
Yeah.
So if I was to go in the NBA, I personally wouldn't want to go to a championship team. Let me come over here I like Charlotte. I don't really care for the organization, but let me go to a team like that, or Portland, or oh God forbid, the Wizards, and just let me have fun.
I mean, I kind of feel like that's what they did with Detroit. They just let them come in and be them, and let them bond the way they bonded and play the way they wanted to play, and then now look at them. They're like a young team. I'm not gonna say they're gonna win anything this year, maybe next year, but I don't know if you just want to see them in a playoff series. All
right, so the way I feel about the Pistons now is how I've always felt about the Magic, how I feel about the Rockets right now, and how I feel about the Knicks. So the Knicks are probably the most visible team. When Cat came, they were doing well, but they are still the Knicks. When it comes down to it, they generally don't have the team to make it. The Magic, ever since they've been a team, besides the Shaq and Kobe years and Dwight Howard, they always like, hey, these are the next up guys. These guys are like they're right there. All they need is a couple more years, and it's like every year they just need a couple more years. The Rockets right now, they have a team where everybody's like, this player. I think people have given up on Jalen Green, but Alperen Şengün, he's always been that. Hey, give him a couple more years. So I think the Rockets are another team that's like. Yeah, but I think they're just going to be in mediocrity.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying I'm betting on the Pistons to do, I'm not saying they're going to make a deep run in the playoffs or anything like that. All I'm saying is because they are a young, scrappy team with a good player like Cade Cunningham, if you see them in the first, maybe second round of playoffs,
they could.
It may end up being, like a 4-2, but.
They might surprise you.
It ain't gonna be just like, oh, we got the Pistons. Oh no, you got to play, because it ain't gonna be easy. You're still gonna win. You're gonna win, but it ain't gonna be easy.
What I love about the NBA is like the small little things that the average person don't hear. So the Pistons, they had that year where they were like one of the worst teams of NBA history, and Kyle Kuzma on the Wizards, he was like, at least we aren't them. But now the tables have turned. The Pistons are doing better, and now the Wizards are like one of the worst teams. And it's so funny just to hear those little remarks and see how things go.
Yeah. social media, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But anyways, that was a little bonus for y'all because we tried to end it.
Yeah. We can't get out of here without talking about the NBA.
No. Especially like, and I've heard somebody say this. I know we're trying to end it, but like, I do agree with him that because typically the playoffs is usually I'm not gonna say it's just a cut and paste type of thing as far as like who's gonna be in it, who's gonna make it far. But this year, I don't know. Like I have my favorites, I have my front runners, but I still there's a lot of like given the matchup, given who they play in those first couple rounds. I don't know.
To be, I really commend what the Cavaliers are doing, just because when Evan Mobley first got into the league, I don't say high expectations, but I was really big on him. And the fact that they somewhat turned around a little bit after LeBron had left, to me, was just a miracle in and of itself. Because, I mean, after a big person like LeBron leaves, or if somebody retires like Kobe, you expect that team to be bad for quite a bit. So
like OKC?
Yeah. Who left them?
James Harden.
Oh, yeah.
Russell Westbrook. Kevin Durant.
I was thinking
Kendrick Perkins.
I was thinking, what's his name? CP3. I don't know why he came to mind.
No, that's the Clippers, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, he was with them.
He was with OKC?
Probably for a year, maybe a year or two.
I don't remember that year.
Yeah, that was when LaMelo, and it was toward like right before Russ left.
Okay.
What's funny? I know I'm getting off topic. Somebody, I follow some pages, and they were like, "Can you guess this player who started with the Hornets, and then he went to the Clippers, and then he went to such and such, and then they said Suns, and then Warriors, Spurs." I was like, this sounds like CP3, but I don't remember him on the Suns. And then like I thought about it, I was like, that was back when they had like the best. How the heck did I forget that?
They almost won the championship that year.
How did I forget that?
Because I think he got hurt, right? Because I think they went to the conference finals, and he got hurt, and they didn't play that well.
I know one year they were in the finals.
Or was it? Or they may have been in the finals. It was either Western Conference or finals. Or they the Western or East?
I know. So they did go to the finals, and that's when the Bucks beat them. But I don't know, like the year after that. I don't know how. I can't remember how far they went. But they didn't go back to the finals.
So that was that year.
Mm-hmm.
That's when he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Cause he was already kind of on his not last leg, on his hurt leg going into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, once Chris Paul got hurt on CP3, he was just like.
But I was saying that for a reason. I can't remember where I was going before I started talking about Chris Paul. But it doesn't matter. All right.
Lob City.
Mm-hmm.
Bring it back. Bring Lob City back.
Okay.
You don't know what team would do it? Who would do Lob City? You really want to know?
So I know Lucas said that he wanted a lob threat, but they got anyway. Who would you say?
Spurs. No, it's fine.
Listen, that makes sense. I know.
I know you said it before. That's why I said it. I like Fox on the Spurs though.
We'll see where it goes. I mean, they got a mixed team. They got a lot of young players. Then they got CP3, Harrison Barnes.
Is it Vassell? Vassell?
Yeah, Devin Vassell.
It's Vassell?
Mm-hmm.
I say Vassell. When I read it, I say Vassell.
Yeah.
But I like him too. He's pretty decent.
Yeah, they got. I personally, I think I know what they're doing. So they're obviously they have not made their direction just yet. So they have these players like Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, who aren't. They're what's the word? Their value isn't that high, but they're not like crap players. So like they can trade them and get some good assets.
Or if you learn how to play, I mean, because here's the thing: like if you can learn how to play with them, because the thing about it is like if you get a good team of, they don't all have to be stars or high value players. If you get a good team that has good chemistry, that plays well with each other, and they buy into the system, you can end up having a one championship team like the Pistons with Ben Wallace and them. Like you can have that. You may not build a franchise with it, but that can happen.
I think at some point, like the Thunder, like they have so many of these players, but if at some point they're going to have to decide to do something with them. So the Spurs, they have Chris Paul, who isn't going to be there forever. De'Aaron Fox, Devin Vassell, they have all these players at the guard position. But like I said, Chris Paul's going to go. So at some point you do have to decide. Either we're going to have to let Harrison Barnes go and stick with these young people, or, pay these. Anyway, yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, guys.
Yeah.
Another question. Nah. I don't have it. I mean, I do have something, but I'm not going to.
Thank y'all for watching and listening. We love y'all. Appreciate y'all. We have Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Yep. It's like I don't want to get back into training. But anyway, you can find me on Instagram. You can find, the page. You can find, goodness, the big and short of it all at all those different places. I told myself I was going to try to start talking slower, but every time I get here, I never do it.
It's the crazy part about it is like I hear you, I'm listening. And I see that speed bump coming, and you hit it every time. Because I can hear it. It looks like you'll slow down, and I see it. I'm like, oh, here it comes, and you hit it every time, James.
All right, so this is me talking slower, and we're gonna see if I do better at saying what I intend to say. So far, it's working. There are little pauses in between, but that's for me too. Cool. Yeah. So thank y'all for watching. We have Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, big and short of it all.
Yeah, there you go. Feel like you was born in Alabama. Just talk slow.
I can't say that.
I can't.
I was going to say that would sound insulting.
That's why I said it. I'm saying it for you.
Speaking of which, okay, here we go. Just one last thing. So James debates on the internet. There's
it's almost a segment, right?
There's a video of this woman who. Anyway, so I posted saying that I used to be told that I talk white when I was young, and I would always think, and from black people, and I was always think, well, what do you think black people sound like?
Yeah.
So, actually, the people I can't remember what the. So my question to you is,
what do black people sound like?
No, just like from Alabama, are you saying that they talk slower?
Yeah, well, Alabama people, we do talk. We take our. Well, I don't say we take our time, but we do talk slow. But then again, this is also coming from, because I have friends who are from like New York, and like when I talk to them, it's like double Dutch. I have to wait to get my words in because once they get going, I'm just like,
yep,
yes, here I go. And it's like once I cut in, it's like it's not like because I don't talk fast. Well, I feel like I talk fast for a person from Alabama, but compared to that, if I don't have my thought process collected, if I don't come in hard, it's like I get railroaded right back over. It's like, yeah, because the thing about it is, and they're like, well, yeah, I lost my opportunity, James.
Yep.
I lost it.
I know what you're saying. There's been so many times I try to talk in the conversation, like, all right, so 4 different topics ago, I had something to say, but I've been trying not to interrupt you all. But I know that's not the same thing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think it was you that I know we've been trying to edit.
We're almost there.
Was it you I think it was you that sent me the video of the dude at the gym.
Yep.
He was talking to his gym crush. He was like, hey, how you doing? Yeah, I'm just. Well, you picked this stuff up.
Yeah.
I said, what? I felt that. I was like, oh, I've been there.
And Dr. said that he felt like that was me to a T. And I was like, I don't want to tell you how much I what's the word?
Oh, I got to tell you something off air.
Okay. I related to that too hard. Too hard.
It was the pause and it just grabbed. I can see that I'm gonna take this L.
I would just be like, fuck it. I don't have to finish.
I'm out.
Yeah.
All right. It's getting warm now. All right. You can find me at DA_Bear BEAR29.
Slim Jimothy SLIMJIMOTHY _.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah.
You got it up.
Just talk slower. Thank y'all for watching.
All right, man. 76ers and 5.